Welcome to the Millionaire Hot Seat tonight. Let's get straight down to the action because I want to give away $1 million. Yes, I do. Yeah. That's it. It's one of these wonderful 6 contestants ready to play in the hot seat tonight. Let's meet them, and they are. This man is Joe Davidson. He's the youngest of 6. His dad had run out of names by the time he was born. Came up with Joe. Helen Gunn unintentionally left her baby under a clothes rack while out shopping. After a big night in LA, Darren Gay woke up in a shopping trolley wearing just his underwear. Whoops. While travelling the Amazon, Joanna Nation fished for piranha and swung off jungle vines. A younger John Conakey, used to drink his dad's scotch and top it up with water. Whoops. And after entering a chili eating competition, Susan King ended up with blisters on her mouth and face. Ouch! Ten,
9, 8, 7, pass.
Passing.
Thank you.
See you, John. Catch you. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Susan King is a writer, a musician and a DJ from St Kilda in Victoria, 44 years of age. Laura is your partner. Go, Laura.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, welcome to the show. Great to see you guys. Hey, Laura's an abstract painter. You're doing the DJing. Where do you do your DJing?
All over the place, but mainly doing the techno, doof bushes, earthcore, rainbow serpent, those kind of big festivals, big day out.
And you've been doing this for a fair while?
Over 20 years.
Wow, you must have been one of the early female DJs.
One of the first 3 or 4 in Melbourne in electronic music.
Fantastic, great stuff. What about your writing? What are you doing?
I was a travel editor and writer for a fair few years, editor of a travel magazine for an airline. And I write about food, travel, wine, and I'm writing a memoir at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with your memoir. Hopefully we get a run when the night you won $250,000. That'd be pretty handy. Before we get on the question, you're a food writer. Did you write about the time that you drove 2 hours to attend a chili festival and lasted 15 minutes when you had one of the hottest chilies ever and left with your face and your mouth blistered from the raw chili?
You bet I made a quid out of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote about
How hot was it?
It was a Scotch bonnet, which is one of the hottest on the Scoville scale. And as soon as I bit into it, I was there with a friend, I thought, I've made a horrendous mistake. And I went,
is there anything you can drink? Milk? They say drink milk, but...
The other pros were there. I just walked up as a nut. If we'd driven 2 hours to get there, we're there for 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Got out in front of the stage to do this. Everyone else has got milk, and I'm thinking, yeah, not a problem. Had it and I was blistered and my friend was up the stage saying, I'll have another one, and I go running through the crowd going, I think we've made a terrible mistake. Don't do it.
Well, at least you wrote a story about it, Susan.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go for $1,000. It's just a flesh wound is a quote from the Monty Python and the What film. Holy Grail, meaning of life, life of Brian, flying circus.
I'm quite sure. Well, I feel it's A.
Lock in A.
Yes,
Monty Python and the Holy Grail is correct for $1,000. Yes, so said the Black Knight, who had his arms and legs cut off in a duel with King Arthur at the time.
It's me a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. All right, we're 9 questions off $250,000 right after this in the hot seat. DJ extraordinaire Susan King is in the hot seat. Let's go for $1,500. A 2007 autobiography by chef Gordon Ramsay is titled What with Fire? A. Cooking. B. Playing. C. Heating. D. Cursing.
Well, he does have a mouth on him. I would have to say, looking at them, B.
Playing with fire, locked in.
Yes, please.
Correct for $1,500. From sous chef to superstar, $2,500. Paddy is one of the world's largest recreational training organisations specialising in what sport? A. Swimming. B. Sailing. C. Surfing. D. Scuba diving.
I'm not going to muck around. Lock in D, please.
Lock in D. Done any scuba diving?
I'm asthmatic. I've tried it in a pool, but I'm not supposed to.
No, that's not a great thing.
But I reckon Paddy are the dudes who do it.
You've got it right for $2,500. Yeah. They're the Professional Association of Dudes No, Professional Association of Diving Instructors. There you go. Hey, it says here, you're a very happy-go-lucky person. It says here, Susan, you've got a knack of insulting people when you first meet them.
Look, it could be a lack of filter between brain and mouth.
Yes.
I'm not 100%. I don't think I've insulted you
Not yet, anyway, but it's still early.
Yeah. No, I've done it to a few people.
Sigrid Thornton, the beautiful Sigrid Thornton.
I know.
What happened?
I knew exactly who she was when I was introduced at the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival a few years ago, and politely introduced by a friend in the manner of, an opening gambit. Susan, this is Sigrid. Sigrid's currently starring in such and such a play at such and such theatre, and I just went blank on politeness, and I just looked at her and said, I don't care much for theatre.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, God. And I said, OK, rewind. Sigrid, sorry, I'm very sorry. I said, very nice.
You didn't really mean to say it, but...
No, it just flew. But the thing is, I don't care for theatre.
You don't like theatre?
No, not live theatre, not particularly.
No, but you didn't mean to say it, you were thinking...
No, not to the one of Australia's greatest living actresses.
And did Sigrid use her best acting chops and pretend that she wasn't...
She was extremely gracious.
Yeah, she's
I
a wonderful
rewound,
person.
I became gracious, she became gracious, and she's probably never forgotten it. I never will.
Susan, she's probably watching the TV now going, there's that rude... no.
Yeah.
$4,000, good luck.
Thank you.
One of the world's most famous department stores, Harrods, is located in what part of London? A, Hampstead, B, Knightsbridge, C, Mayfair, D, Wimbledon.
I'm leaning towards B. And I'll keep leaning that way. Lock in B, please.
Lock in B. Harrods, you'll find in Knightsbridge for $4,000. Yeah, in fact, it's known for years as Harrods of Knightsbridge. Charles Harrod founded the business in 1834, moved to the Knightsbridge store in 1849, and the store now owned by the country of Qatar. There you go. All right, $6,000 question. Let's go. A term used in the 1950s, what is the female equivalent of a bodgie? A, widgie, B, budgie, C, hedgie, D, wedgie.
This is one of those real Australian questions. I did not grow up in this country.
Where'd you grow up?
London, Europe and the US.
1950s, female equivalent of a bodgie. A widgie, a budgie, a hedgie or a wedgie. 10 seconds. 6 questions, 5 contestants. 5 seconds.
I'm going to lock in A.
Lock in A. Why A?
Because a budgie's a bird. A wedgie's just something you do to a mate. I don't know... well, not necessarily a mate.
Well, the way you talk to friends anyway, yeah.
A hedgie, I don't know, sounds like someone who hedges their bets, and a widgie sounds kind of like gidget, like surfy, and bodgie might be surfy, and that's as far as I can...
No, I think they're the antithesis of the surfies, but close enough. They were bodgies and widgies in the 50s, correct. Oh. A hedgie is a hedge fund trader, so you're close there. Living in the UK and the United States, you would have probably known them better as rockers or greasers in the 50s.
Right.
Yeah, a bit of Fonzie-style type of thing.
Yep.
There, that's the way. Go on here, Susan. You are flying. 5 contestants. Everyone's in with a chance to win some money. But when we return, Susan, you're playing for $250,000 cash on the hot seat. Welcome back, 44-year-old former, well, not former, these days writer, musician and a techno DJ, one of the first women techno DJs from St Kilda is Susan King. We're 5 questions away from $250,000. You're a private investigator at some stage.
Yes.
Was it as glamorous as you thought it would be?
I thought it was all going to be very Magnum PI, Hawaiian shirt, you know, very glamorous, and it is one of the most depressing jobs I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I think I worked mostly in work cover, and so I was dealing with people at one of the most difficult times in their life. So for me, I either had to go back to school and get a counselling degree to help them through it because I didn't feel equipped, or perhaps not do it. But I learned a lot about the means of production, and I also found out I'm not nearly as nosy as I thought I was.
As you wanted to be either,
Yeah,
Susan. All right,
it.
let's go. $10,000. Which of these Australian artists has had the most #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the USA? You DJ you. A. Helen Reddy. B. Olivia Newton-John. C. Rick Springfield. D. Kylie Minogue.
Rick had Jesse's Girl. Helen Reddy had I Am Woman. Onge had, like, Physical. Kylie had that one. I reckon Kylie's done it. Oh.
The most #1
most.
singles in the USA. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Lock in D.
D. Kylie.
Oh, B. I'm too late.
Would you want
I'm too late.
to do what?
Switch.
To what?
Maybe Olivia.
Yeah, it's Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had, Olivia's had 5 #1s,
Really?
including Physical and I Honestly Love You.
Yeah.
And probably on the banks of the Ohio and a few others. But
Yeah.
Helen Reddy's had 3,
Yeah.
Rick Springfield 1, and Kylie's never broken as big in the United States as she has in the UK. She's had donuts in the United States. So there you go.
You
Susan did really well. 5
Thank
in a
you.
row, and that's where we leave you. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Eddie.
Good on you.
Take
Good on
care.
you, Susan. Joe, you're back.